Okay, what I just did here is I took this cardboard coaster corkboard and I traced a circle onto the piece of cardboard of the coaster circle, and then you want to carefully cut it out. And there's our cardboard cutout circle. The circle is the same size as your cork cutout. So we have now the top and bottom of our coaster, and the cardboard cutout which goes in the back to form like a sandwich. Next step is to trace your circle onto a piece of rubber. The rubber I'm using is a rubber mat that you can get at the dollar store. It's just a thin piece of rubber that like a foam type rubber. Any kind of foam will do. What you want is something that if any weight goes on it, it'll squish down. Because what we're basically making is a pressure switch. When the drink or beverage goes on top of the coaster, the weight of the beverage is going to squeeze the contact points of the LED together onto the battery. So I've already gone ahead and I've traced the circle and I've cut it out into this foam. So this is going to be the center part. As the weight of the drink presses in, the foam will squeeze a little bit and that'll cause a pressure point. Now next step is we're going to have to trim down this rubber so that we can make room for our LED and for our battery. The LED I picked has a very long shaft for the contact points. I don't know if you can see that, it's very small. You want to pick one that has a very long outer edge, unless you're willing to solder. If you pick one up that's very short, what you can do is solder a piece of copper to each end to extend that. The next step is trying to figure out the positioning of the LED. You want to stick it roundabout in the center of, such that the battery is in the center of the coaster. That way the maximum amount of the weight of the drink is placed onto the contact points for the LED. At this point I'm going to take a piece of tape. Any kind of tape will do, though electrical tape would be best. I'm going to use just some duct tape. I want to leave most of the LED contacts open. This is basically just to hold the LED in place. So I'm going to put this little piece of tape right near the head of the light. This will hold the LED from sliding around. Now what we have is the two contact points are pointing straight down towards the middle. What you want to do is you want to lift up the top one very gently to just give it a little bit of a bend in there. What's going to happen is this battery is going to rest right there on top of the bottom contact point, and such that the other one will rest on the top. Now you'll want to bend it again so that it creates a better contact point. Now for this one I have two 2-watch batteries, or 2 batteries. They're about 1.5 volts each, which is plenty of power. And as you can see, right now the light is off, but when any weight touches that, the light goes on. We've created a pressure switch. Now the trick is we want to keep those batteries from sliding all about. The way to do that is to cut the rubber mat such that the battery rests in the center of this rubber mat. That'll keep them from sliding around. So I'm going to fold this rubber mat in half. And we're just going to cut out a little circle, which is going to be where the batteries will be resting. Okay, now at this point, this rubber mat covers the entire surface of the bottom thing. We want to trim some of this away, because we want to make sure that the light can be seen, and we also need some room for the Velcro. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut two sides off of it. This is going to be where the Velcro will go. Now it's important to make sure that your battery makes contact with both ends of the LED. Now at this point, we need to make a little slot just for the LED. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from the center circle, from the outside to the center circle, so we have a little strip where the LED can rest. So what we've created is something like this, where you have the batteries in the center, the LED taped to the cardboard, and you have the foam cut around in sort of a U shape. The battery gets held by the foam. Now at this point you can either glue this rubber, or you can tape it down, or it would be good to use a hot glue gun to glue this down. And once again, make sure that the battery doesn't get into that glue, because you don't want to ruin your battery. And you want to make sure that the contact points are good. So I'm going to just put this rubber band on before I put the battery back in there. We want to set the battery in there. Make sure that it's touching both contact points. And you want to trim away any excess of the material away from the light so that the light can shine without being blocked from. So, we see the light still works. Now, you may be wondering why we have Velcro. The Velcro is to hold this bottom piece and the top piece together, and allow you to take it apart so if you want to change the battery again. The back side of this piece of cord, you want to make sure that they line up with your other pieces of Velcro. So I've got the Velcro on the back side of the cardboard, and on the back side of the cork circle. Now what we want to do is simply make a sandwich. We put the cork with the ring to the cork. Now we take this side. The last step, if you want, you can stick some felt tabs on the bottom so that it doesn't scratch your tabletop when you use your coaster.